Good day, students. This is solution videos for Math 1026. This is numbers 1, 3, 5, and 7 on page 9 of book 2. So practice 2, page 9. Now, these particular questions are asking us for what values make the rational expressions undefined or defined. So let's have a look at the solutions here. Now, if you look at each one of these rational expressions, now a rational expression is just a mathematical term for a fraction with variables in it. Okay, variables in the denominator. We could see each one of these are fractions that have variables in either the denominator or both the numerator and the denominator. Now, one of the things in mathematics that still we say is undefined is division by zero, right? So there are things in mathematics we still say are undefined. And those things is one of the things that still remains undefined is division by zero. So we can't have expressions like 1 over 0, right? Or x over 0. We can't have that. These are what we call undefined expressions. Okay? So what we have to do is figure out which values make the denominator 0, therefore making it undefined. Everything else will be defined, and I'll explain that in just a second. So let's look at the very first one. A very simple rational expression, 1 over 3, or x minus 3. Now what makes this denominator 0? What value? Now most of you can see it right away. Well, if we let x equal 3, we'll have 1 over 3 minus 3, which is 1 over 0, which is undefined. So if x equals 3, our expression becomes undefined. Okay? Therefore, we would say for undefined, okay, x equals 3. What makes our expression undefined? We would say x equals 3. That means every other x value other than that is going to work, will be part of the domain. So we could say if we say defined, then we'd say everything but x equals 3, and the simplest way to say that is x not equal to 3. So for undefined, we'll use an equal sign. For defined, we'll use a not equal sign. So, okay, hopefully that'll come a little clearer now as we do a few more examples. In number 3, what values make this one undefined or defined, whatever way you're asked? Okay, so if we look at the bottom one now, we can see that there are two, right? You see two factors here, don't we? So how do we know when there's two factors? Well, nothing cancels out here. Like I cannot cancel this one with this one. They're two different signs, right? You can't cancel t minus 2 with t plus 2, okay? So therefore, you take each factor separately. It's called a principle of zero products, and it's probably been taught to you in your classroom. So what makes t minus 6 equal to 0? Well, you can just set it equal to 0, or you can see right away it's going to be 6, the opposite sign. What makes t plus 2 equal to 0? Then it'd be t equals negative 2, wouldn't it? So you can do it the long way by just taking each part and setting it equal to 0 and solving. Add 6 to both sides, which would make that t equals 6, right? So you could do this way as well. Now, again, depending how you're asked, if it's undefined or defined. So when we say undefined, what values make it undefined? That's the actual values themselves. Then we would say t equals 6 or t equals negative 2. Okay, that's how we would write it. If we're asked for defined, okay, if we're asked for defined, then it's every other value but that. So t not equal to 6 and t not equal to negative 2. Okay, so depending on how you're asked. Now, if you look at number 5, it's a little tiny bit more complicated because the coefficient of the factor 2t plus 3 is not 1 anymore, it's 2, right? See it? So it makes it a little tiny bit more complicated, but not too difficult. So all you need to do, if you can't see it visually right away, right, intuitively, then take the denominator, make it equal to 0, and solve it. Because if you make it equal to 0, that'll tell you the value that it will make the denominator 0. Now if we Do this, subtract 3 from both sides, so we get 2t equals negative 3. You know, subtracting 3 or bringing it over, same concept. And then, of course, dividing each side by the coefficient of the variable, which in this case is 2. So divide each side by 2. So t equals negative 2/3. Right? Now remember, that's the undefined answer. Okay? So if we were asked for undefined, then it would be, of course, t equal to negative 2, right? So this is undefined right here. Now, if we're asked for defined, then again, as I showed you above, if you're asked for what values are defined, in other words, every value but that, then we say t does not equal negative 3/2. Okay, so there's the answer in both undefined and defined modes. Now, if we look at the last one, number 7, we can see a trinomial in the denominator. Therefore, we're looking at possibly canceling out 1. Now, therefore, we're going to factor the bottom. Now, what gives you a product of negative 6? Now, we've gone through factoring before, so I'll just do this quickly. And a sum of negative 1. Remember, the product comes from the first coefficient times the last coefficient, and the middle term gives us a sum, which is negative 1. And those numbers are minus 3 and plus 2. So it's going to be t minus 3 and t plus 2. So the bottom factors, or denominator factors, to 2 binomials. Now you look at that expression, and you can see that we have a common factors, don't we, on top and bottom. Exact same sign, so you cancel the whole binomial with the whole binomial. Of course, leaving you with 1 on top, you're always left with 1 as a numerator, and just t minus 3. So now, then you put a comma. Anytime you write a rational expression, you should be saying where is it undefined or defined. And you would see this written after it, which means every other value for t except 3 will work in this expression. So that's the proper way to write a rational expression at the end. Simplify it and then define where it, and tell where it's defined. Okay? And again, if you were asked for where is it undefined, remember, use the equal sign. So for undefined, if you were asked that, of course you would say t equal to 3 makes it undefined. In other words, that's what undefined, whatever makes it 0 in the denominator. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies a little bit about undefined and defined with rational expressions.